Well, well, well. The question was, is Bitcoin going to tank below 100,000 or skyrocket to 130? The market was throwing some crazy signals, and there are stuff that you need to know. So stick around for the full scoop, crypto crew. Right now, we got the April data just flipped the narrative, taking away what I had. I did some technical analysis, and it basically takes away. But I'm still gonna cover it because short term anything can happen. So PPI crashed, retail has faded, no inflation spike, no consumer heat. So the rate cuts are back on the table. But we really don't need the Fed. We don't need because we're looking at global money supply. Bitcoin will always follow global money supply, as we said. But let's get into the charts as it stands right now. If you're ready to join us, please come on over and give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin and crypto all day, every day. All right, so Bitcoin's been keeping us on our toes. Today is May 15, 2025. Bitcoin was, chilling at 104,000, 105,000 yesterday. Now, X posts are buzzing that we're now, like at that 102, 500 level, which is a level that I've been talking about for a few days now. I told you that's the high day's close. When we hit that 109,588, the close on the day was 102,5 something, 500 or so. So right now, analysts are calling for, action to be choppy. Now, I'm saying, yeah, I agree with that 100%. But if we zoom out, let's look at like this chart right here. If we zoom out, the the bulls are still running price targets of 150 to 180,000. So who's ready for that? Drop a moon in the comments if you are. So what's driving this? Sentiment's mostly positive thanks to cooler than expected CPI data. Now we got cooler than expected retail sales. And President Trump's been hyping markets at the Saudi U.S. Investment Forum. And he's got that crypto glow about him, that orange crypto glow. But hold up, some analysts are, waving red flags. Of course, there's always the naysayers. They got on-chain metrics like weekly RSI is flashing a bearish divergence. Yes, it is. But, trading volume right now is straight up trash. And I'm going to get into that in this chart right here. I want to show you, I'm going to introduce you to something called average true range. A lot of people follow RSI, which was developed by Wells Wilder. Average true range was also developed by him. I find it to be a great indicator because it actually shows you, when markets are getting, like heated up, the average true range. Now this is an 8 hour. The average true range is $2,650. If you go back in time, it's 3,305. Right now we're sitting in average true range of 1,500. Very low, very low. And we're gonna come back to that in a second. All right, so if we're looking at this, the market right now is stuck right around 105,000. Okay. Solid, support right now is sitting at 100,000. Okay. Now, I said that we could get as low as 99,000. That wouldn't be a problem. But if we look at a 50-day moving average, okay, on the daily, if we pull up a moving average or we even pull up, let's see if we got a moving average here. Yeah, let's moving average. That's a moving average ribbon. I don't want that. But let's pull up an EMA ribbon, okay? So really we have a potential. The EMA ribbons are right here. So really you got a potential pullback on the dailies of EMAs around 95.5. That is a potential, okay? And that would be an incredible like dip. For me, my personal opinion, if we dip down to that, that'd be an incredible place to scoop more coin. So let's get back to the 8 hour because I want to work on the 8 hour right here, and I'm going to take away the EMA ribbons for now, and we're going to talk about price action. All right, so we got solid resistance right now at 106. We got short-term support right now sitting at around 99,000 to 97,000. The RSA on the weekly showing bearish divergence, means, the prices are higher, weaker momentum. It's a classic pullback signal. But the daily RSI is around in the 60 to 70. So we're not overbought nearly yet. But if we look at this weekly, if I'm going to switch over to the weekly chart, okay, the weekly MACD just flipped bullish. It's the same signal that triggered every major breakout. Now, this is a weekly, so it takes time to work in, okay? So we're going from short term to long term. So we got to keep that in mind, all right? Weekly is totally different than 8 hour. But really, if you look at this, this is not hopium, okay? This is data, and there's no more waiting, it's this thing is time to break out. I'm fed up of waiting for this thing, but we got to be patient. If I come over to the weekly chart, okay, what we're seeing on the weeklies, all right? Past cycles warned us that the market was going to dip. Okay, past cycles tops. Okay, we got to break down past top right here. Guess what? There is no breakdown. The monthly LMACD, no bearish cross has occurred. So there is plenty of room to run. Plenty of room to run. So the monthly here is on with the LMACD is showing there is no bearish cross. So we got the weekly here. I think I said monthly before. I'm sorry. Weekly right here. It's basically showing us, yeah, it's time to run. And we got the monthly showing us the same thing. So let's get back to the lower time frame because everybody's interested in the lower time frame, and I can understand that. If you're a short-term trader like me, you're interested in. So we got points to watch. We got to break out. We got a support point right now sitting a little bit below the psychological level of 100,000, like 99,000. Now, a break of the 99,000 could send the coin to 95. Now, how did I come up with that? I used a fib retrace. Okay, so if I took 90,000 low, down in here, if I took the 90,000, where is that guy? Right in this level right here, 90,000 low, okay? And I went to the high of 105 that we got right now. What I'm getting is retracement potentially back down to like 97, 95.5 if it goes really, lower. Okay, but now if we look at the EMA ribbons, like what we said before, they're lining up. That price is actually lining up with the EMA, like right down in here, 98, 97, right there. Okay, so again, for me, that is totally like bearish. I mean, bullish. Sorry, bullish place to buy. All right, so Fibonacci extensions upward, point to the top 110. All right, now the extension level on a break of 110 is 120,000. Okay, so the break of 110 is showing the extension up to 120,000. I said about 118 before we got the pullback in yesterday's video. I still hold to that. I still think that that's going to be a pretty strong resistance, 118, before the 120 gets popped. But let's break 105 because a break of 105 right now, if we look at the funding rates, okay, the funding rates are negative, okay? So the market is still short. They're not expecting it. They're not expecting the break above it. So that's a great indication. We also look at, CoinGlass's bull market peak indicators, 0 over 30 are hit. So everything is still in play. So we can't forget about what's running in the background, okay? We can't forget about what's running in the background. We got Trump families all in on crypto, with American Bitcoin going public via a merger of Graphon Mining, the ticker is ABTC. Eric Trump's running strategy, but there's chatter about deregulation conflicts and the Trump meme coin and all that other stuff. But I'm not really worried about it. What I really want to point you to is this young lady right here. She is now like one of my most favorite people in the whole entire world. She's a little rough. Must have been hot when she was younger, but a little rough right now. But right now, Senator Cynthia Lummis is pushing for zero taxes on Bitcoin and crypto. If that hits, it's rocket fuel for Bitcoin. But there's a twist. Bitcoin's dominance is slipping a little bit. I mean, from 65 to 63.89, meaning cash is flowing into altcoins like Ethereum. All right, we talked about this. Ethereum's up 26% this week. What about XRP, man? XRP really is up, and it's holding. XRP is holding pretty tight. Where's that sucker right now, that XRP? 246. All right, I was hitting around 255. Now it's like 246. Let's support XRP around 235, 236. But all right, I digress. So right now, Ethereum and is altcoin season coming? Well, let's check this out. We're looking at total market cap. All right, this has happened before, and the market basically didn't pay attention to this stuff. If we look right here, the bottom we took right off 2022 to 2025. We are here right now. Look at this. Plenty of room to run. Plenty of room to run on the indicators showing, we hit that bottom, we're starting to run. Now let's look over here. Look, the market, was retailers always in disbelief. They always get, the fear of missing out a little late. They probably get into fear of missing out right here before the market comes off. But really, everything is showing that, altcoin season's about to hit. We talked about it yesterday, how much more money was pouring into, the altcoin market. So we got everything working for us, crew. We got everything working. Now, before I wrap up, we got to tell you about this, all right? Come on over here. You can click this link right here. Takes you over to this site. This is, our totally free community join. We'll be dropping insane alpha. Merlin will be teaching some good trading techniques. He just came in second in that Abu Dhabi, whatever that contest was, somewhere in the world. He's been traveling the world, that young man, God bless him. But, he came in second. Fantastic. He's got some great trading techniques. So he'll be dropping that in that community. Now, we got you covered. If you want to follow our trades with a solid broker, check out WeX. All right. They're perfect for our style of trading. I'm going to come over to WeX, show you that screen right here. Perfect for our style of trading once the screen loads. Okie dokie. We got a trade on right now that you could follow it. Just click the link and join up with WeX, man. And, low fees, fast execution, everything that you need. So what's the play here? What's the play? Well, short-term traders, look at that 99,000. If it can get down there, that would probably be a very, very good support point. You could get a slip down to like 90, 95.5, 95.9. I don't think that's happening. I think most likely it could potentially come to around this 99, 98, 8.5. Watch for the breakout of the 105. I think that the breakout of the 105 will be a good break upward, in my opinion. So that's what I got going on in the crypto markets today. Remember, come on over to X, follow us on X. Trade with your head, not over it. And always, as a short-term trader, enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.